reached Samaritans. We're putting you through to a volunteer now.
Hello, Samaritans. Can I help?
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
Good. I'm only checking because I just had a call where somebody couldn't. That was all. So that was all right. How are you this evening?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Howie.
Hello, Howie.
I'm struggling to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you want to tell me a bit more about what you mean by that?
Yes.
Yes, take your time.
I can't access healthcare.
Mm-hmm. And so, when you say you can't access healthcare, what particularly have you been trying to do? What has happened? Just take your time. Tell me what you need to.
It's because when you're brain injured, you can't do what everybody else does. And so all the solutions in the world are designed for non-brain injured people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So when you're communicating with other people, although you speak the same language and you don't have your own brain injured people vocabulary, which would have developed from brain injured people communicating amongst themselves, the other people cannot gain perspective on your situation.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you explained that very well. So what you're saying is if somebody, I think what you're saying is that if somebody hasn't had the experience themselves, they can't really understand what your situation is like and help you.
For example, if you can't live in a dwelling, people don't understand that because they live in a dwelling and the government goes around exterminating homeless people by saying homelessness is bad and forcing everybody into dwellings in order for them to manage the economy and tax people.
Okay, is that what's happened to you? Would you rather be living a different way?
I would rather live like other people, but with a brain injury, I can't.
No, of course.
I can't fit in with the fashion. I'm a very dirty, unhygienic person, and I've got very foul behaviour, and people hate me a lot.
And is it that you're not in control of that behaviour?
I control it to a certain extent, in as much as I'm educated to like manners maketh man. But I commit a lot of crime.
Do you?
Yeah. Like vagrancy and mainly just vagrancy.
So is it that you are you're committing a crime, knowing you're committing a crime, or is it your behaviour?
It's just that I can't live in a dwelling. Because in order to live in a dwelling, you have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And if you can't pay taxes because you have a brain injury and can't organise to pay taxes, then you're going to end up with nothing but problems with the bailiffs. And if you haven't got the mental capacity to fight against your creditors, you end up with like people can't even look after me because I have debts following me with the debt collectors. And so when I go to stay with people, they get very angry when they come home and find all of their property missing because the bailiffs have been and stolen everything. So the problem is that everybody hates me.
So how do you get by, Howie, day to day? How do you survive?
I ask people for their leftovers.
And are you sleeping on the streets, or?
Yes. It's okay this summer because it's been very dry.
Yeah. And you say you can't access healthcare. Are you in need of healthcare at the moment?
I need a wheelchair. Today I spent 5.5 hours writing another letter for the doctor. I put an append. I've been with that doctor for nearly 10 years, and on it I put an appendix. 2.5 pages of like different consultants and social workers that I'd worked with. But the problem is that the social workers don't understand what brain injury is. And also they send me to special brain injury social workers. And they're also very bad people.
Hey, I'm sorry that's been your experience.
The council sent me to Wendy. And when the police attacked me, I told her that I was being attacked by the police, and she didn't make any safeguarding referrals. So I left her. I don't want a social worker who's not fit to practice.
No.
When I'm being attacked for being disabled.
Sorry, I just need to cough. That's better. Sorry about that. Carry on.
When I'm being attacked for being disabled and I make a report to a brain injury social worker, and the duty of that brain injury social worker is to make a safeguarding referral, and they don't do it, then I feel my life is being endangered. And I'm already disabled. I don't mind if the police kill me, but they shouldn't make me more disabled than what I am.
And how long have you been without living in a dwelling for? It's a long time.
Yeah, my brain injury was 35 years ago.
Yeah. And you've been living outside all that time?
Yes. I tried for 3 years. I tried having a deputy. But they couldn't tolerate me because I'm such a detestable person. And they I had to rent somewhere for them to stay. Yes, I've rented a place for them to stay. But in the end, they didn't even want that. I was paying them about £2,000 a month for rent and food and their clothes and everything. And in the end, they just walked out and abandoned and handed the keys back to the landlord.
You call yourself detestable. Is that because you don't fit in anywhere?
Because I make people angry. Is that the crime you're talking about? And you're not being able to control your behaviour? So, for example, there was a council course in how to access medical services.
Yeah.
And I signed up for that, and the people in the council banned me. They banned me for being disabled.
Yeah. And Howie, do you ever feel like you want your life to end? Do you ever have suicidal thoughts?
Exactly. That's what I wrote to my GP today. I sat in the library for 5.5 hours and told the GP that they have to end my life.
Oh, hey.
That's what I signed up with that GP 10 years ago for. I signed up specifically to be euthanized.
Oh, hey.
So I said to the GP, it's quite clear I cannot access medical services. I've been applying whilst I've been at your practice since 2015 or 2016, I think. They I told them right at the beginning I need to be euthanized. And I asked for two things. I asked for a wheelchair, and I asked for a deputy. They've done nothing.
What do you mean by deputy? I'm not quite sure. You mentioned that before.
When you're brain injured and you don't legally exist because you can't pass the government's mandatory mental capacity exams, you have to have a deputy, so that when people attack you, and when they attack you, more accurately, when they attack your children, and you have to stop them attacking your children.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind if they attack me, I could just ignore it. But when your children are being attacked, and even worse than attack, such horrible things I can't even say on the phone to the Samaritans. That you try to defend them, and then the lawyers say, oh, you're not a human being because you can't pass our mental capacity exams. And so the judge says, well, if you want your children to live in their own country and not be deported to somebody else's country where they're going to be left homeless, then you have to have a deputy. So in order to stop my children from being abused in the most absolutely despicable manner that words can't even describe, I've been working for 14 years to get a deputy through the Court of Protection. But the Court of Protection doesn't have disabled access. And there is no training to stop deputies from hating people. It doesn't matter.
So what's the situation regarding your children now?
They're still deported because the Court of Protection won't issue my paperwork.
Are they adults now?
Some are not. But it doesn't matter if they're adults or not, because more children will come along, and then the government will do exactly their same vile, despicable, hateful words can't even describe over the telephone to the Samaritans how absolutely disgusting I'm being treated. Or the children are not the children are not to be treated that way. You must not treat children that way. You can't do that to children.
Howie.
Well,
I can hear that.
Am I not allowed to express my emotions?
No, of course you are.
Is that illegal? Am I breaking the law again?
No, you're
Am
not.
I being a criminal? Yes,
No.
I'm being a criminal. I'm being vile and despicable.
No.
Yes, I am.
You're being distressed.
No, I'm not distressed. I have a speech impediment. That's what everybody gets wrong. Everybody gets it wrong. Everybody on this planet gets it wrong. They say I am distressed. I am not distressed. I have a brain injury and I have a speech impediment. And all it is muscular control. Nothing else.
Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I've never listened to you before, so I can't know everything about you. Do you understand that? Yeah, so I don't intentionally treat you with disrespect.
No, it's not the point. It's called a seizure. It's a neurological condition. And I can't meet the aesthetic standards of I can't meet the aesthetic standards of decent society.
And is that why you were ringing? You ring us. I don't know if you've phoned us before, but is that why you ring us to try to say the things that you need to say?
Well, it was very difficult because I travelled a long way to see this GP this morning. And it's not that I travelled a long way to the GP. I was going to go to the training session about how to access services, but I left early so I could see the GP as well. Kill two birds with one stone. And the GP was not there today, and so the GP complains that when I write my letters, they're too long. But if you don't put my problem is this: if you don't put all your facts in a letter, then the GP will say, "Well, you never told me about this or that." So I ended up I arrived at 8 o'clock. They told me the GP is not there. Then I said, they said come tomorrow, and I can't come tomorrow because I have to look after my mother. She's 90 years old and she lives a long way away. So instead I spent 5.5 hours writing down. I wanted to talk about my wheelchair and my brain injury, but I just focused on the brain injury. That took me 5.5 hours, and I wrote it as carefully as I possibly could, as accurately as I possibly could. But the GP is not taking these things in. They just they can't deal with these things.
So tough for you.
And then after that, I try to have contact with my I tried to have contact with my deputy after that, and my deputy said, "Oh, it's more important. It's more important. Other things are more important, not you." And they refused to see me. And then I had to. People try to force me to communicate with child. I can't. I'm not all. Bad words. Evil people. They tried to force me against my free will to have contact with people who abuse children, and they abuse children in the most despicable of ways in which words can't describe over the phone to the Samaritans.
So when did that last happen to you?
Did what last happen?
That people, what you just told me about people.
This afternoon. Yeah, they told me to contact these bad people.
Okay, yeah. And does it help you when you ring us, Howie? Does it help to get these thoughts out of your head?
The thoughts don't go out of my head.
No, share them then.
It can help if I have the right tools available.
Yeah.
And the people, they cancelled the reason that I'm phoning at the moment is because the health care access is like a lecture or something like that, like an hour or 2 hours of it was and they complained that my language wasn't good enough. They don't know me. They don't. What gives them the right to judge these things? They can't just cancel things. I'm going to write a letter to the mayor, and I'm going to tell that mayor if he doesn't deal with this, I'm going to take that letter that I've written to him, and I'm going to send it to every mayor in the whole country and ask if all the other mayors agree that I should be treated like this. And I'll just go and live. I'll go and live with another mayor. I don't want to live with a mayor who's going to persecute people because their standard of language isn't meeting like some vague. If my language isn't good enough, I want to see. Is it just somebody's opinion that my language is not good enough? And how am I supposed to challenge that opinion? If I would like a scale, how has my language been measured to be not good enough to learn how to access healthcare? But that's how they treated me. They said to me that my language is not good enough. They'd never spoken to me, never had any contact with me. They said that the form I filled in didn't address the questions I put on the form. They're liars. They're liars. They don't know what I put on my form. If my questions didn't answer the questions, then they should have told me back in June when I filled that form in. Didn't tell me on the same day that I have travelled a long distance to go to that particular meeting. And they never bothered to tell me. They said, you were told on the 18th of June or the 18th of July, they said. And I said, how? And they found the email for me. And I said, the letter doesn't say anything of the sort. And if you've got a copy of that letter, then that's a breach of data privacy. These people are breaching my privacy and doing hateful actions against people who are disabled. If my language is not good enough, it's only because I'm disabled. So that's how I'm being treated. I'm being denied knowledge about how to access healthcare by people who how do I know that the people who run that program about how to access healthcare, how do I know that their cousins and their brothers and their uncles aren't the bailiffs, and all they want is for me to end up in financial trouble so they can extort and blackmail me and abuse me for the rest of my life? What am I? I'm going to ask the mayor. I'm going to ask the mayor for who owns shares in the debt collector, in the bailiffs, and I'm going to ask I want cast iron guarantee from the mayor himself or herself that there is no financial conflict of interest between the debt collectors and my inability to communicate between the council and the healthcare system.
Yeah, Howie, I have been listening to you, and of course there's no action I can take. I don't know whether it's helped at all, you being able to speak the way you have, and I'm really sorry for your situation. I'm going to draw this call to a close now.
Sorry for disturbing you. I apologize.
No, you didn't disturb me at all. You don't have to apologise to me. I've heard what you have said, and that's my role as a volunteer to listen. And I'd just like to say that I have really listened to what you've been saying. There's very little else I can do, but I don't know if that's helped at all. But you have had a connection with a human today, and so I'll wish you good night and end the call now. Okay. I
apologise for not being able to make myself understood very well. Thank you.
No, okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.